Welcome to the Car Audio Beginner Series. If you're just getting into car audio, this series is for you. Because once you start researching this stuff, it gets complicated fast. One person tells you you need two 12s. Someone else says one good 12 is better. One guy says you need a 3,000 watt amplifier, but someone else has an 800 watt system that sounds great. Who's right? Potentially all of them, but they're probably building completely different systems. So if this is your first build, forget about trying to learn everything all at once. You really only need to understand 3 things before you start spending money. If you get these 3 things right, you'll be avoiding most of the mistakes people make on their first build. Let's get started. Hey, what's up? Josh here from Breaker Stereo and Performance. Welcome to our channel that reviews all the best in car audio, performance, suspension, and more, because we don't drive stock. And if you're like us where stock doesn't cut it, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Okay, number 1. Figure out what you actually want out of your stereo before you buy anything. Now that sounds obvious, but this is where a lot of first systems go wrong. Someone says, I want better sound. Okay, what does that mean? You want more bass? You want it louder? You want cleaner vocals? Are your factory speakers distorting when you turn them up? Or do you want all of it? Because those are different systems. Let's say your factory stereo actually sounds pretty decent. The highs are okay, the vocals are clear, but there's basically no bass. Then don't start ripping every speaker out of the car. Add a subwoofer to the system. Now maybe the opposite is true. You already got decent bass, but the front speakers sound harsh or weak when you turn up the volume. Then maybe your first upgrade should be speakers and amplification. The mistake is starting with the product before you identify the problem. You see a big subwoofer online, you think, I need that. But why? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want bass you can feel? Do you want something clean and balanced? Do you need to keep your trunk space? Do you want your system hidden? What kind of music do you listen to? All of that matters. So before you start asking what amplifier or sub you should buy, ask one question first. What don't I like about my stereo right now? Fix that first, because your whole system should be built around what you want, not what somebody else's build looks like. Number 2, if your bass is your goal, the subwoofer, enclosure, and amplifier need to be chosen as one system. This is probably the biggest beginner lesson. You need a subwoofer, you need a box, you need an amplifier, simple enough. But beginners usually shop those 3 things separately. They buy a subwoofer because it looks good. Then they find an amp that's on sale. Then they grab whatever box the subwoofer happens to fit in. So now you got 3 individual decent products, but they may not work together. Let's start with the subwoofer and enclosure. The box matters way more than most people think. You can take a really good subwoofer, put it in the wrong enclosure, and make it sound average. But you can take a more affordable subwoofer, put it in a properly designed enclosure, and get really impressive results. So when you're shopping for a subwoofer, look at the recommended enclosures at the same time. How much airspace does it need? Are you going sealed or ported? If you're going ported, what tuning does the manufacturer recommend? How much space do you actually have in your vehicle? Because maybe you want a 15, but the proper box takes up the entire trunk. And if you still need to carry backpacks, groceries, work gear, or anything else, maybe that isn't actually the right setup for you. For a first system, a good 10-inch or 12-inch in the right enclosure can be a great place to start. Okay, let's talk about amp. This is where everyone starts chasing big numbers. You'll find an amplifier that says 3,000 watts. Sounds awesome, but the number you actually care about is RMS, at the impedance you're actually going to run. Let's say your subwoofer is rated at 600 watts RMS. You want an amplifier that's going to give you the appropriate amount of RMS clean power. But the amp might make 600 watts at 1 ohm, 400 at 2 ohm, and only 250 at 4 ohm. Same amplifier, very different output. So you need to know what impedance your subwoofer setup will actually present to the amplifier. That means paying attention to voice coils, single or dual, 2 ohm or 4 ohm. How are you wiring it? If that doesn't make sense yet, that's fine. We'll cover that in this series. The main thing to understand is this: don't buy a subwoofer, amplifier, and enclosure separately, hoping that they'll work together later. Choose them as a package: subwoofer, correct enclosure, correct final impedance, amplifier that makes the right power at that impedance. Get that part right and you solve a huge portion of your first build. Number 3, don't spend all your money on equipment and then cheap out on wiring, integration, and setup. This is one of the easiest mistakes to make. You spend $500 on a subwoofer and an amplifier, maybe $700, maybe $1,000. Then someone tells you, you also need a wiring kit. Then you're thinking, doesn't that come with it? No, it doesn't. Your amplifier still needs that power, still needs the signal. So good equipment installed with bad wiring can still perform badly. You need proper sized power wire, ground wire, and a fuse near the battery, good connections. And for most first builds, I'd recommend quality OFC copper in the correct gauge. Nothing exotic, just use the right stuff. Then we have to get the signal to the amplifier. If you got an aftermarket stereo with RCAs, it's pretty simple. But a lot of newer cars are keeping factory stereos, and that's completely fine. You may need a line out converter, maybe an amplifier that has high level inputs. Maybe your vehicle needs a specific integration piece. So don't automatically assume you have to replace the factory radio. A lot of times you can keep the factory look and still add a good subwoofer system. And finally, the system needs to be set up correctly. This matters. The gain is not a volume knob. Turning up all the way doesn't give you extra free power. What it can give you is clipping, and clipping can damage your new equipment. So gains need to be set correctly, crossovers need to be set correctly, and wiring needs to be right. The enclosure needs to be right. And if you're brand new and don't have a lot of tools to do it properly, having a reputable shop do the final setup can be money well spent, because the most expensive way to learn about clipping is after you've blown your subwoofer that you just bought. So if someone walked into our shop and said, I never had an aftermarket car audio system, I just want more bass and I don't want to go crazy, here's what I'd probably do. Keep the factory radio, that makes sense. Keep the speakers if they're decent, and go with one good 10 or 12-inch subwoofer. Put it in the correct enclosure, pair it with a properly matched amplifier, use quality wiring, integrate it correctly, and set everything up properly. Then listen to it. Drive around with it for a while, figure out what you like. Figure out what you still want to improve. Maybe you want better front speakers. Maybe you want more bass. Maybe you're just completely happy. Don't feel like your first system needs to include everything. Start simple, learn what you like, then build from there. Okay, here are my final thoughts. So if you're new to car audio, remember these 3 things. Number 1, figure out exactly what you're trying to improve before you buy anything. Number 2, choose the subwoofer, enclosure, and amplifier as one system. And number 3, don't ignore the wiring, integration, and setup. If you get those 3 things right, you're already ahead of the curve of most first-time builders. Okay, this is the Beginner Series episode 1. In the next episode, we're gonna dive deeper, choosing your first subwoofer. 110, 112, 210s, 212s, sealed, ported, and how much power you actually need. If you're new to car audio, subscribe to this series and put your biggest beginner questions in the comments below. We may use it for an upcoming episode. Okay, again, my name is Josh with Breaker Stereo on Performance. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.